All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jules, and I have Kathy with me, and we are going to do an evolution reading based on the technology. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jules, and I have Kathy with me, and we are going to do an evolution reading based on the technology. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jules, and I have Kathy with me, and we are going to do an evolution reading. Okay, we're still live. I think I just needed to, I'm actually going to record it. So sorry for everyone that's watching our first time. We're first timers. Okay, I think we got it now, and we are live on YouTube for those that are on. And just know that we are not able to see you. So if you are putting comments, we won't be able to see those till later, but we definitely will go back and watch those. And Kathy and I are going to do a evolution reading for 2023. And we're also going to, at the end, do a code to activate on a cellular level so that you're holding the intelligence of that future pattern. That kind of, the way that I like to see when we say future pattern, it's taking the ability to use focus for looking to something ahead or that next moment so that you're always in creation versus bringing your focus maybe back into a pattern of your past. Because if we're always bringing our focus into the next now moment, we're always in creation. We don't want to go too far out, but we can go into the next now moment. And I have a whole, I can't remember where it is. I think it's out there somewhere where I did this whole reading on, does the past and future even exist? And the answer is those are the two strongest patterns that we have. But the one thing that doesn't exist is the now moment, because every time we enter a now moment, it becomes the past or future until we fully move into spherical time. And that's what I'm really feeling 2023 is going to be, is the ability to move outside timelines altogether, but we can still use focus, meaning always shifting into that next now moment in order to actually have that happen. Do you have anything you want to add before we start reading?
It just is an exciting time because in 2022, it was all about the change. We were going through change. And I feel 2023 is the year of mastery. Mm. And this makes perfect sense with staying in spherical time, just staying in that now moment, because there's so much to offer there.
I love that. You know, this is like so random, but this just came to me. For anyone that's listening that has their level 1 intuitive power, to add whatever that number is to 2023. So 2023 would be a 7. So let's say you're a 5, add those together and then break it down so it's into one number. And then that's your number for this year. That just came to me. So that's kind of fun. What is your number, Kathy? You're in level 1.
Yeah. 1. So
am I.
That's my level 1, so it would be 8.
8. Yeah, so I'm a 1 as well, and so I'm an 8 as we'll have. So both of us are. That's what I'm just getting. So that's kind of fun to think about. Okay, let's go. That was so random how that came on. I totally felt Robin on that one. He was like, "Yeah, do this." Rob is a friend of mine that passed away, and he's in his own little mastery world for sure. Okay, honey, well, let's get started. So I have some cards here. Let's just go ahead and we're going to do a basic reading. And then once we hit the probability, we're going to shift and bring that right into the ohm code. So what we'll do is Kathy and I are just going to reflect on the cards. So the first card that we're pulling is the card of what frequency you're holding right now, whether you're aware of it or not. This is the frequency of where you are. So the first 3 cards are the frequencies that are holding a pretty stable energetic pattern. And most often these first three cards are also, the third card being how to shift out of it, are ones that you're kind of hooked in to what we call that super hologram, or it's hooked into programming. So we're just looking at that so that we can unhook it and then shift it into the frequency of the expression of that intelligence so that we can move beyond programming altogether. All right, so the first card we're getting is the 3. And this is the frequency that's being held right now. And this, we can say it's on a collective, but hold this in your, as an individual, because collective, individual, it's all the same, right? It's, we're all in reflection of the super hologram at this point, but we can use that reflection to shift into the expression of an intelligence beyond. So the 3, let me just feel into this for just a moment. I'm going to hold it up one more time. I'm getting a lot of static actually with this card. It's kind of this place where a lot of us are feeling, it's almost like this reinvention energy. And the reinvention is coming, it's kind of like, it is that unhooking. It's kind of like unhooking from everything, or maybe a better way of saying that is kind of doing an inventory of what's working, what's not, what's making me happy, what's not. Really setting it up to move into success of that future pattern and move in. When I say success, I mean that in a space where we all have this innate knowing that we are here to live a new earth life, but we also know that there are certain areas in our life that we either need to release, we need to maybe just shift the energy of where it's coming from, we need to shift our perspective. That's what I'm getting with this 3. It's that staticky energy of like, hey, look at me, so that we can shift something in order to bring it to the next.
And I'm getting, with this 3, I'm getting, it's what's expressing. And it's like we're bringing in all of these things to look at so that we can allow them to shift and move. It's like it's the 2023, I feel, it is mastery, and there are going to be things that will move out of our life and things that will move in, and we have to be willing to allow them to flow. And that's what I'm getting with this 3, is allowing things to come in and things to leave, and being okay with that.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. So interesting. We're getting all these like awakening levels. Okay, so the next one is the 1. And this one is the card that is showing what's being reflected back to you because of it. Let me just feel into this. Okay. All right, so the first card was looking at the inventory. I'm just kidding, the word inventory. So it's kind of taking inventory. It's being real. It's really good, taking the time to go in and just being honest with what's in resonance and what's not. And not thinking about it too much from an ego perspective. This is on a soul level. Even though these are both awakening cards, I'm getting that they're the awakening of kind of the next level, right? So it's already like you hit a certain level of mastery with something, and now in order to move beyond even that, you have to go into this kind of voided space where everything becomes new again. And that's what I'm getting with this one. It's being able to, it's almost like all of a sudden nothing in your life makes sense. It's like all of a sudden everything that used to be joyful or used to be have this all of a sudden is like, wait, is that even working for me anymore? And we're kind of stepping back going, wow, like everything is different. That's what I'm getting with this card.
And what I'm getting with this one is, in order to be the way showers that we are, it has to be reimagined. You know, for you to step into that way shore, you can't create form with form. So this one is seeing it from a totally different new perspective. And that's the one. And it's, if you notice this, you have the God sphere. And if you notice the little lines there, they're going both ways. And it's creating something totally new from this level. And that's the only level that you can see it from, is a new level, because you can't be that way sure if you're still staying in that comfortable space.
You know what is so weird, Kathy? Look at our two cards. They're different.
Wow.
Did you know? I just noticed that.
Wow. Yeah.
It's really,
you've got the point right there, and I've got
and you have 4 lines. No, I have 4 lines too, but they're different. That is okay. This is really bizarre. So I feel like we need to read into that. That is really strange. So yours, will you hold yours up again?
Mm-hmm.
So you have, it's almost like there's this one that's,
well, I see that as a timeline being collapsed.
it's like shifting, right? And then this one is full direction.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I was starting out with that place of having focus into that next, when we're always focused on just the moment that we're moving into, then time can't exist, right? Because we're not focusing on the future and we're not focusing on the past. These two cards together, I feel, are saying that. And it's in the awakening level of the one. So it's something that we all have the opportunity to awaken from. And this is what's being shown to us right now. So just paying attention to what this energy is, and not going back to kind of what we were just saying, it's seeing everything in a different way, but not seeing it from programming. It's literally stepping into the energy of what that is. And I feel like if you guys all just take a moment, just me talking about it, it's kind of bringing that in. It's almost like reinvention is the word that's coming to me.
In the unknown space.
Yeah.
It's in the unknown space. It's not staying in that comfort zone that we've always been, because we're willing to change most often, but we don't let it change very much. This is about going full blown into the change and walking into it in that totally new space.
I feel like at the end of this, we might have to have everybody create an avatar, because then getting this reinvention is just going to be really big for all of us. So let's try to remember that after we code. Let's move on to, this is what that universal intelligence or the technology divine wants us. Look at this, another awakening level. This is blowing my mind. So this is the 5 in the awakening level. And this is what the universe, intelligence, the technology, a frequency that's turning on for us to pay attention to, so that we can shift into expression.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm seeing here is I'm being drawn to these ripples here. And how it's in that space of the void. The 5 is right there in the void space, and the ripples are moving all around it. And it's we're being invited to stay in that void space.
And because we're in the 5 here as well. So 5 is that space of the shift, right? And that reinvention would be a shift. And so let's just read the code so far. So far what we're coding is we're doing that kind of inventory, looking at what's there. We're moving into reinvention. We're being shown like everything is shifting, and we're aware of that. And instead of trying to grasp hold of something, we're just being asked to be in the shift itself. So it's not necessarily that we have to have it all figured out. It's just it's almost, this is what I'm hearing, the guidance that's coming in is step into the frequency of the shift itself, and then it's going to show you what it is. but know there is a reinvention that's coming. All right, well, let's move into the next one. So the next one is the spaces that co-creation. So the divine is just saying, okay, step into the unknown. And that's where you're going to find the next. Don't wait for the next in order to create the shift. Just step into the shift. And then from there, so this is co-creation as the master creator. So this is the card where when we're in that now moment that we fully open to that space of let the divine pour through, right? We're in that space of attuning to the divine frequency, the divine intelligence. This is the mastery level. This is the creator and the creation at the same time. So what I'm getting with this card is that once we step into the shift of the reinvention, after we've done the inventory, that we step into a level of mastery. Wasn't it interesting that all of these cards were awakening because we're truly stepping into the next level of mastery? So with this card, just to put it into perspective of where it's laying in the code, it's saying we have everything that we need. The mastery has been turned on. And this is that place where, this is where we call upon support when we need it. And the challenge here is that to fully be in mastery is to take responsibility for our mastery and to actually take the time to let it fully turn on. And if we need support, we just remind ourselves of our own mastery and ask to see that. So if we need something to see in our future pattern, that one little step ahead, in order to keep staying in the frequency of mastery, we ask to see the next level of mastery, the next level of mastery. That's what I'm hearing in this card.
And I'm feeling that it is, it's not something that's outside of us. It's that expression where we're hearing what we need to hear in expression, where it's, we're just, listen and do. We're in that fourth and fifth level, creator and creation. It's like we're staying there. We're not dropping back into the third, the second, and the first. We are staying in that fourth level on a consistent basis. And we're asking. If we need information, we're asking from the inside out.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we'll let that, we may come back to that one, but let's see what's next. So funny that we're getting another mastery level. So now we're moving into, this is Particles of Possibility. We'll go ahead and, do you want to pick the card that goes with it, Kathy?
Yes.
So because it's a 32, so it's actually a 5, but we're knowing that something is being created, and now we're seeing what the reflection of the creation is, and that's the embodiment of the 8. So these are, for those of you who have taken the evolution coder class, you'll know what this means. For those that you don't, just let us read, and then we're going to definitely invite you to take that class because it's amazing. So let's start with the 5. So the shift at a mastery level and creation of the 8. So the shift is the 8, which is that abundance, and it's the embodiment level of the 8. So that's staying in flow. It is the ability to be in mastery of the next moment with full focus. And in that, it's the ability to create shifts in each moment, but it's being held in that frequency of flow, and that word abundance is really coming in strongly. So I'm going to go out and I'm just going to straight up say it, that abundance is going to come through in 2023 in that next right moment. So when you're challenged to go searching, just staying in that space, and this is a really strong message that's coming in for me, is only if you can't see something, or if you, and I don't mean that physically, like if you're getting a hit and there's just no energy there, it's not for you. Just let it go. Focus on the things that have that divine yes. And by doing that, it'll help stay in that next right moment, because you'll always be in the frequency of that inspired action. If it is not inspired action, and that doesn't mean that we don't do the things that we don't want to do, if it's that those are the things that we have to do to get to having it go. And I'm talking about things like emails and just the things that we don't always want to do, but we discipline ourselves to do them. That's not what I'm talking about. Everything doesn't have to be easy all the time. And I'm going to say it's not going to be easy all the time. Just because you're in flow and just because you're in the creator and the creation at the same times doesn't mean that you're not going to be challenged. And I think it's really important to say that, because I think there's a lot of people out there that think that once they're living in the divine life, that it's going to be easy. I'm going to say if that was true, everybody would be enlightened right now. It's the people that are willing to self-discipline and to use the focus and their own mastery and actually using the tools to stay in the mastery level of what it is to shift in order to stay in flow. That's where the magic happens.
And what I'm seeing with this 32, which is the mastery level of the 5, it's like that is that 1 to 10 process where you're just moving straight up, bypassing all of the static, moving past the timelines, creating a wave and moving. This is where you would move into your avatar.
I love
that.
And
then this 8, this flow is, if you notice that the flower of life is being dissolved here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's like it's moving into that higher level of multidimensionality, to where you're moving out of the matrix, and it's moving, it's unraveling that for you in the flow. That's what I'm seeing with those 2 cards.
I love that. So it's kind of breaking through the looping cycles, shifting in. And if you think about the mastery level of the 5, it really is the ability to be outside of that programming. It's and then connecting that to the flow and abundance, that because you open up, right? You're not looping anymore. You're opening up to the next level of what's coming in. Okay, let's go into the probability. And we got the 9. So this is the embodiment level of the 9 as probability. And that is that space of, that I am divine, right? And I am the edge of the God sphere. You could say I'm within the matrix, but I'm at the highest frequency of the matrix, but I'm not of the matrix. And that's when gamifying reality gets really, really, really fun, because we can actually use the matrix to advance in all areas of our lives. And this is really right here, especially in the embodiment level, is when we start to shift the body to hold that frequency. But it's also where we start to experience even the matrix as the new earth frequency, because we have the ability to hold it in a frequency where we're, like you said, kind of dissolving the flower of life. We're dissolving the flower of life and rebuilding in that higher frequency of the mastery in order to eventually shift out. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have moments when we're completely outside, but this is really what I love about this. It's kind of that place where we're the director, the actor, the screenwriter, we're everything, and we get to redirect it whenever we want to. And that truly is the gamifying part. So that's what I'm getting for probability on the 9.
Well, if we go back to the first card we chose, so we're reimagining, we're seeing things in a new way. We're coming into this way shore energy of the one. So we're creating something totally new. We're in that 5 of moving into that place of change. Change is what we have. And then the 33, which is co-creation with the divine, is that the creator and the creation all at once, and being able to embody everything. Moving into the particles of possibility, which is the 32, which is that higher level of the 5, the mastery level of the 5, and moving. I just see us moving totally through that 1 to 10 process, unraveling the and allowing the 8 to come in and totally support us, and then staying into that 9, which is choosing that 9. So that's kind of how I see all of these cards.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the code. And we'll reflect on what the code is. So let's just paint the picture. I feel like you just did that in a really beautiful way. Just knowing that, so let's just go into the expression piece of this year. You are the master, and you're being fully supported as a master. You have that ability to be in the highest level of change, the highest level of what it is to consistently shift through a flow of energy by unhooking, like that unhooking. It's like you don't even know the matrix is there at that point, because when you're always in the shift, you're just in the flow of the highest frequency. And that's what that probability piece is that yes, you are gamifying reality, and you can use the awareness of the mastery in order to be in creation through the expression of source intelligence. This isn't about here. This is about turning on those codes of the highest frequency. Okay, so let's see what the code is going to be. All right, so I'm getting do you want to write this down, Kathy, so you can see it on your pen? I'm getting a 5, a 3, a 33, a 1. So interesting, we're getting almost all the same cards. A 6, and a 3. Okay, so let's do the code and then we'll read it. Okay. So let's just do hands on heart. And if you'd all like to breathe in that rainbow light, let it trace along the brain and down through the spine and out through the mouth, activating those ascended ions, attuning the body. We're just going to move right into the pineal gland, into the mitochondria cell, as we trace the double helix and turn on this divine code of positive 5, 3, 33, 1, 6, 3. And we'll allow that to sequence and move into expression as it creates energetic frequencies. Just seeing those light up in the mind. And then they connect to the hydrogen bonds of every cell of the body, connecting to the H3O2. You can just see all these electric frequencies hooking together, creating a system of intelligence and ionic grid. That this intelligence is held within, where you have the ability to consciously attune to this intelligence. And we'll just lock that in, and then we'll say, thank you, I love you, it is done. Would you like to start to read the code?
Yes. And it's really interesting that we're starting with the 5, which is the change. But the one that really lights up is the 33 in the middle. It's like that is hooking to all of the other numbers. It's like the numbers that I'm seeing is the 5. And then we have the next number, which is the 3, which is right next to the 33. And it is hooking to that. It's lighting up that 3 at the end, which is just creating that cycle. And it's like you're bringing in your soul family to move to the next. And then we have that 1. So the 33 in the middle is it's like the equation is the 3, the 33, and the 1. Those are the most important numbers in the code, because you've got expression, you've got the 33, and then you've got 1 being the way shore in the new earth.
I love it. The one thing with the 6, I am seeing definitely upgrade of the DNA in that one. So that mastery level is stored on a DNA level. It's in the creation of the shift that's coming through. So it's everything that we just talked about in the reading. So now you all are just being held in this. Your DNA is an expression of this intelligence, and you can. A really easy way of using this is that when maybe you get a little sidetracked, let's say with some chatter, just refocusing on the frequency that was just released into your body, because we can focus on this in every now moment in order to create beyond programmed reality. And now your body is literally coded to have this experience of mastery. So we would love to, now that you've had this experience of the cards and we have coded the pattern for 2023, and that you are holding this intelligence, Kathy and I want to invite you into the Evolution Coder class. This is a legal certification where you can learn to read these very high level cards. And one thing I want to say about learning to read the cards through the evolution technology is that it does shift consciousness, not only through the body, but through the way that the mind, because learning a language, which the numbers are a universal language, but the way that we're teaching it is actually through a technology where it's not the universal language of what you could say the quantum field. It's the universal language of your DNA. And when you really start to tap into that and learn the language, it shifts your consciousness because you start to think through the language. And it's a really beautiful experience to begin to really advance consciousness in a very unique way. What would you like to add to that, Kathy?
And I feel that that the cards will work with you and create this miracle frequency pattern for you as you're attuning to whatever you're doing as far as the reading and bringing these cards up. It codes you. It is a coding system that supports you totally.
It's so much fun. It's just another way of using the evolution technology, of tapping into the intelligence that's stored there. It's about upgrading your cells. It's upgrading the human experience. It's upgrading the mind, the body, the spirit. It is a very holistic, you could say, if that's the word we want to use, or a spherical way of approaching evolution. And that's what this is all about, right? The evolution technology is created in a space where it's always turning on the next frequency, where we have the ability to move into that consciously. And we have lots of different ways of experiencing that. And this, I'm going to say, is probably one of the most fun, just because it is something that you get to play with and you get to read and you get to interact with the technology in a way that is very unique. And that's the experience we want to invite you into. That class starts on January 10th. Kathy will be teaching this. It is, like I said, a legal certification. So you will be legally certified as an evolution coder. And I believe that is at 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Well, Kathy, do you have any last minute? Oh, we were going to do an avatar. I feel like we should do that really quick. Okay. So let's just kind of take a moment to just invite in the frequency of that reinvention, of that mastery, who you are in a mastery level. And just allow that frequency to enter into your body and just feel what that feels like. And know that inviting this energy in, that it becomes a very specific frequency pattern. And this pattern is the creation of your mastery, of who you are as the master of change, gamifying reality, really showing up in your purpose. I'm going to use the word purpose here, but I mean that in a way that you feel very stable, very supported in your own brilliance, that you're not holding back in any way. You're 100% showing up in that flow and divine trust. You are ready to be the activator, is the word that's coming to me, which is so fun. That magic wand. So let's just paint an image of who that avatar is. So if you have an image of who you are at a mastery level, take a moment and see what does he or she look like? What are you wearing? What are you thinking? How do you get out of bed in the morning? What sort of things are you doing with your time? And look at not only what you're doing with your time, but take a moment to look at the things you're not doing that maybe you're doing now, and really look at that. That's kind of that first, like, this energy here. It's like, let's look at that, because that's the part that's letting go. And now you're moving into this new version of you, that mastery part of yourself. What is he or she doing? And then start to play. And what I would love is to also invite you guys all to Kathy and Denise's evolution technology activation that they're doing on the 31st, because that would be a superb moment to bring your avatar into 2023. But I want you to start stepping into it right now, because using avatars is an extremely powerful way to bypass limitations that we put on ourselves, because we are consistently looking through another lens of our abilities. And so make your avatar big. I mean, go big with this and have fun, and maybe even just keep having fun with it until you kind of hopefully show up to the activation with Kathy and Denise. And if not, just let it build until 2023, and then boom, start this energetic pattern. Well, we are just sending you all so much love, and we are wishing you the happiest of holidays and happy 2023. Do you have anything you want to add, Kathy?
What I have to offer is for this time is to have fun with your family, to really show up and be present, and allow that magic to be there as you're celebrating the holidays, and really be present with them.
I love that. We love you all so much, and we are just sending you so much love and a great big hug. And I hope that you feel that love just flowing through you right now, and that this has uplifted you so that you can move out throughout the rest of your day and the rest of this year, and definitely all of 2023, as we are just putting it into the spherical pattern to where we're living it right now. So be your avatar in this moment, live in your mastery in this moment, and we are cheering you on. You're not alone. Lots of love to you guys. Perfect. Oh, we're still live. Bye, everyone.